emotional. Things are gonna get better.
Hey everyone! Okay, so I was asked, how do I take measurements? Or how you guys can take your measurements. So there's a different couple. This is how I personally take my own measurements. So I do chest, I do stomach, I do hips, which includes the butt, I do thighs, and I do arms. You can also do neck and calves if you would like. So this is what I do. I just take my measurement, my tape measure. You always want to make sure you're standing straight up, right? So I'm standing straight up here. I take the tape measure, I put it kind of like right across my back. And I take it and I move it right across my breast. I sit up straight and I measure right across my breast. I'm a 33. I've been there forever. For women, when you get your bra size measured, they measure across your breast. They measure under your breast. And let me see if I can remember when I got mine done. They take those two measurements and they subtract them from each other. And that's what determines your cup size. All right. So in case you didn't know. So I usually only measure one side of my body when it comes to arms and legs. So usually what I do is I usually measure my right arm. I usually measure the one that's the biggest. So because I am, my right arm, leg, my right side is dominant, I usually do that. So what I do is I take the tape measure, take my arm, put it down, kind of try to get right across my arm. And I've done this so many times that I know, like, basically how to do this on my own. So, that's kind of what I do. I try to make sure it's even, not slanted down. I take it, and then I place my arm down. Now look, right there. So that's about 12 inches, right? Again, you can do both sides. Just remember, whatever side you do, you want to continue to do that side. So if I do this side, it's smaller, right? That's almost an 11, like almost 11 and a half inches. So my right side is a half inch larger. Then I do my ab, I do across my stomach, and I do my waist as well. So for my stomach, I basically relax it. It always pokes out so funny. So I don't tighten my abs when I do my stomach. I relax, let it poke out. Take the tape measure. Go right across my belly button. It's 31, right? So I go right here, sitting up, relaxing, and I do the tape measure that way. Then I do my waist, which usually I do hold my abs in so I can see. And I come down across the bottom part, down here. So you guys can see that. So abs I do up here, right across my belly button. I come down right onto my waist. That's almost a 29. Like it's past 29, but it's less than 29 and a half. It's kind of right under my love handles, right? So it's almost 29. So this right here, it's a little more than 31, about 31. I come down to across my butt, right across here. Right across there. Sitting straight up. You can see, yes, right about across my butt. Take the tape measure. I'm good old 39 inches there. And then, so I do this every 4 weeks. I take it and I do my thigh, right? So I just kind of come. I try to make sure I do the same area all the time. About right here. Can you see that? About right here. Try to make sure it's even. It's it's about 22 and a half, right? So it's always better to have someone else do it for you. But if you don't, that's what I do. That's how I take measurements of myself. And so, poor tummy. So that's what I do. That's how I measure my body. And again, that's what I do to track how I'm doing. So I actually keep a log. I've been keeping since December 2012 when I first started my journey. So every 4 weeks, I take my measurements, I do my weights, and I take my photos. And that's what I track. And I do my body fat percentage with my caliper. So that's what I do, and that's really it. Oh, actually, let me show you how I do measure with the caliper. I'll go grab it. I'll be right back. So this is what I use to kind of track my body fat percentage. I'll show you. I ordered this off of Amazon. So here's what I use is just this thing here. I don't know if you can see the name, but it's AccuMeasure, AccuMeasure Fitness 3000, and it gives you instructions on how to calculate your body fat percentage. So it does show you. This only shows you one way. Right? So it shows you how to use the caliper. And even on here, it tells you that the percent body fat calculations with the AccuMeasure were within 1.1 percentage points of underwater weighing results. So usually it is. It's about 1%. So when I do my own, and then I compare that to when I was getting the bipod done and when I was getting the DEXA done, it was 1%, about 1% off, 1.1% off. So let me show you. So here's the caliper. So it has this moves across. So you always want to make sure that this is at the far right? It shouldn't be at 0. Far right. And basically what you're going to do is you're going to squeeze this on your fat until this top part, until you hear it snap, right? It makes a little clicky noise. There you go. See, watch. Okay, so let me show you how I do this. Now that I know my body fat, last time I was cheating because I didn't want it to go up. So basically on the instructions, it tells you, you have your hip bone here. You find your hip bone right on the top right there. You move over like an inch or so. You grab. So what I do is I make a muscle. So I'm not grabbing the muscle. So I make a muscle and I take the caliper, pull my skin, like the fat, and I take it and I squeeze down until it snaps. Oh, oops, I forgot to move the thing back over. Gotta make sure it's all the way to the right. So I come back here, I take this, and I squeeze until I hear the snap, right? And I do that a couple times. That's one. That was at like 12. Snap. That's at 12 again. So there's numbers across the bottom there, multiples of 2. I come here and snap again. That's like an 11. So then what I do is I come to my sheet here. And what you'll notice is that there's some numbers across the top here, right? You find your age down here. You come across here. I usually am in the blue. Right? So I'm right on the edge of the blue and green. If I averaged it out, I would probably be exactly what I was with the DEXA. So it's 23%. I did 12 twice and I did 11 once. So if you're 12 to 13, it's 24.6% body fat. If you're 10 to 11, it's 22.8%. Usually in the summer, I'm like a 20.8% body fat. So I'm really like a 23% body fat. So I do that about 3 times. And then depending on what the number is, I average it out or I go with that number. Yeah, so it's like at somewhere between 12 and 11. Usually I'm somewhere between an 8 and a 9. So, I've even been lower. I was 18.8%. So, that's what I do. That's how I take my measurements and also how I measure my body fat when I don't go get it professionally done. There are other ways to measure body fat. This is just the easiest way for me to calculate and measure my body fat. There's other ways you can do that, which is you can use the caliper. There's other methods where you measure your arm, the fat in your arm, your waist, in your legs. So there's other ways, but I just use this AccuMeasure that I bought from Amazon, and it just only tells you just to, pinch the inch or however much you got here. You want to make sure you only are grabbing the fat and not like the muscle, right? So you pinch that and you squeeze the caliper on that. All right, you guys, so I hope that helps with measurements. Also, how I do my body fat. And so now I'm going to take my 4-week photos I was supposed to take on Saturday. Okay, everybody, have a great day. Bye.